therapy session.
Therapy session. Like,
So your kids listen to the podcast with you?
if they're in a car, they've
Yeah.
listened. I mean, they listen to podcasts in general.
Okay.
I just gotta make sure like Joe Rogan's not on, or
You just gotta-
one of
yeah,
those
yeah,
guys
yeah,
that are
yeah.
swearing.
Explicit, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your like go-to podcast to put on in the car?
It all depends. I've noticed that like things change. There's a guy that has one on Thursday mornings. And then it's broadcasted live on the radio.
Okay.
Dave Latour. He's a local guy. Talks local sports
Okay.
and local politics. So
Yeah.
he's kind of interesting. He's funny. I always listen to him because my office is in New York, and it's almost an exact
So
45
you
minutes.
got that commute where you
Yeah.
can listen to it.
And then I used to listen to Joe Rogan a lot. I like his like conspiracy guys, but I don't like the fighters. Like,
Yeah.
And then I was into Megyn Kelly for a while, but recently she's like really into like these murders and stuff like that, and goes in. I don't care.
My wife loves that. She like I said, you should have married a serial killer because she loves like to figure out like the brains of these people, like why they are who they are, and this. And I'm like, she's into it. She said, well, I just don't like the murders part. I just like to know like why do these people like why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What is going on in their brain? But well, Alex always gets this rolling anyway. Yeah. So we're on. Welcome to Times Squared. It's funny how I really don't listen to music anymore in the car anymore. It's like when I'm going somewhere, I put a podcast on.
Yeah.
Every now and then, I'm like, I get burned out. I'm like, okay, because you get too serious, especially if you're listening to like motivational stuff and this and that. You almost need like a timeout. So I listen to like Andy Frisella a lot. Like I listen to every one of his podcasts. But he started as the MFCO, which was awesome. It was all like business leadership, motivational, like really just made you like check yourself and make sure you were giving enough, like, give it 100%. But sometimes, man, it's like you're like, oh my God, like you almost like beat yourself up and you're like, okay, I got to take a time out from this because I am killing it. I am doing good. And I got to stop listening to this for a minute and listen to some rap or some country or something to get my brain on a different wavelength. But I think a lot of people now, when they're in the cars, listen to podcasts. You know what I mean? Just to take up the time. And
well, I don't watch too much news on TV, so you get a lot of news through the podcast.
Oh yeah.
And then you don't have to listen to all the commercials on the radio or try to find the station. But
yeah. No, they do a lot of news with Frisella's thing. They have like a cruising internet, so it's all basically what's going on in the world. And that's how I keep up with a lot of the news too, because that's depressing too, watching the news sitting at home like what the hell. And you can only listen to the same song so many times.
Like, I don't know. I can listen to the same song a million times.
Can you? Yeah. Well, it depends on what song it is.
Yeah.
It depends on what song it is.
Both my kids are really into 80s rock, especially like my daughter.
Okay.
And then my son loves Linkin Park. So it's like we rock out all the time.
I love it.
Friday mornings or Friday afternoons, I pick up my daughter sometimes from school.
Yeah.
And there's the whole line and everything. The teachers are out there. And I turn it all the way up and rock out. My daughter comes out. Now she's in 4th grade, so now she's somewhat embarrassed, but she used to love it.
Dad, you're making
And the teachers are like, "Oh, aren't you the dad that blasts the music?" I
love
yes,
it.
I am.
You should put a wig on like a head banging. Well, they would like coming here because we got classic rewind on all the time. So it's always like classic rock and everything. Well, that's where I want to kind of start with you anyways. So podcast world out there. I have Matt Bleiler today with us at the studio, and we're just going to talk a little bit about fitness. And the whole reason that I started this podcast last year was to shed light on our members. Just because a lot of people that have never been to a gym before are scared to death to walk in the gym. And in fact, just this past weekend, I met a guy around my age, and he's like, I really want to start working out. It wasn't like he was overweight or like looking at him, he didn't look like he was in bad shape. But he was like, I would love to come to a gym and work out, and I just don't know what to do. And he was like, I want to work out, but I don't know what to do. So that's why we have personal training. You can actually learn a lot by watching some of the members. And honestly, our members are always here to help too. You know what I mean? If someone needs a spot or something like that, like we have a good membership base. But the whole reason for interviewing you guys and sitting down and talking to us about your life and how fitness fits into your life and into your family's life is why we did this podcast. So it's just to kind of give people a peace of mind if they're thinking about joining a gym or they're thinking about starting a fitness routine, and how they balance into their life. And the whole point of Times Squared is there's really no balance. Like there's going to be seasons in your life where you're putting more time into fitness or more time into the kids if they're in sports and everything like that. So I know we're going to go down that road with the kids because I know how involved you are with coaching, and the kids are all athletes, and obviously we grew up as athletes. So we're going to really tap into that and share a little bit of your background. Tell us a little bit about you, like how you grew up in Palmyra, what your life was like as a kid growing up, and then I want to share a little bit more about like what you're doing with the programs and everything. So you're born in Palmyra, right?
Yeah, I was born in Palmyra. My dad went to Milton Hershey. My mom was at Hershey. They met up, and I have 3 brothers, and we all came through Palmyra. And I didn't realize how crazy my life was as a kid until I tell people the stories of me and my 3 brothers and the stuff we used to do. I was explaining to someone the other day, like, you remember American Gladiators?
Yeah.
We used to do that stuff. Like, there was one, I think it was called Hang Tough, where they're on the rings and they're going and you have to try and knock the person off.
Yeah.
We used to climb on the monkey bars that my dad made, and we would just kick each other until someone falls down.
So
yeah.
So it's 3 of you.
It's 3 of us. I have an older brother and then 2 younger brothers.
So what are the ages?
How
far are you guys apart?
My older brother's 2 grades ahead. Younger brother is 2 grades below, and then my youngest brother is 5 grades below. Like, we didn't go to any. I didn't play any sports with my youngest brother.
So you're kind of middle.
Yeah.
Middle child.
Yeah.
But I think that's the best place to be, is in the middle. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You don't want to be the first one that's breaking ground and getting yelled at all the time, and you don't want to be the last one that's coddled and babied because he's the last one. I think the middle's where, at least that's my opinion. I like being in the middle because you got away with, I think, the most, and I just liked not being the oldest or not the youngest.
I enjoy being in the middle. Yeah.
So
worked out.
You guys just grew up. I mean, all those boys, your parents probably were like, what the heck, man?
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of kids in our neighborhood too.
Yeah.
It was all like boys that had multiple kids, and it was just constant running around the neighborhood.
Everybody was doing sports.
Yeah.
All your brothers played sports?
Yes. So
right?
I played in high school. I played 2 sports, then went on to play football in college.
Okay.
My older brother played 3 sports in high school. My brother Chris played 3 sports, and he got recruited to go to Bloomsburg as well to play baseball.
Okay.
He then partied too much with me and then kind of got out of baseball. And then my youngest brother, I don't know if you know Zach, but he's a giant of a man. He's like 6'4".
I think I do. I don't know him that well, but I know of him, yeah.
He ended up growing when he got to LVC, another 2 inches. And then he became like an All-American football player there and did track. Okay. He just got in their Hall of Fame. But
Throwing,
yeah. He's a monster of a man.
Yeah, he wasn't doing long distance, that's for sure.
No.
So your dad was your dad an athlete when he went to Milton Hershey?
Yeah, he was an athlete, and then he coached every sport all the way up through, just kind of like how I've done it as well. Like, but he had 4 boys to do it through. I only had 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you played football with my brother, right?
Yeah, he was a year older than me.
Yeah. So I remember your dad being the coach. Kyle, when he was born, he was 12 pounds. Yeah. And I remember, like, he's 9 years younger than me. So I told my mom right away. I remember going to the hospital and looking at him, and she's like, "It's that one." And he goes, when they had him in the nursery, and there was like babies lined up in like all these like little bins, and he like filled the whole damn thing. I was like, "Well, he's never." I was a soccer player, so I was like, "He's not going to be a soccer player, Mom. That kid's playing football," and he did. But I knew you played sports with Kyle, and I knew your dad coached. So is that kind of like seeing your dad be involved? Obviously, he was involved with all the kids' sports, right? Like,
yeah.
As far as you could be involved, like he was out there coaching you guys.
Yeah, he was out there coaching. He supported all of us. Went to most of our college games. College games a little bit harder to get to.
Sure.
But yeah. But yeah, always involved. And then when I was done playing in college, I immediately got into coaching. Like I knew from a young age. I was like in middle school, and the coach called a play, and I was an offensive lineman at the time, so I hadn't hit any growth spurts yet, and he called a play, and I was like, it's not going to work. And he goes, I'm the coach, listen to me. Run the play, and then he goes, I'm really sorry, that play did not work because it's what you exactly said. So, like, I knew.
So right there, you're like
I just understood how, like, the X's and O's, and they block each other and stuff. Like, it's something I always.
You had the mindset for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what separates the good football players to the not so good. Like, as far as, like, Tom Brady, from what I learned is that he knew every play. He studied the book. Like, he was mentally football. Like, he knew everything, kind of like what you're saying. You could tell what's going to work and what's not going to work. So where did your dad stop coaching at? Like, what level did he coach to?
So when I was really little, kindergarten, first, second grade, he coached high school.
Okay.
I have like pictures of me being a water boy on the sideline and stuff like that of high school. And then I must have been second or third grade. There was a new coach that took over, and then he started coaching youth.
Okay.
But like before that, he was like our t-ball coach and stuff
So
like
yeah,
that.
but he was involved at high school level.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's freaking awesome to be at that level. Because I always coached, soccer, a little bit of baseball with Jared when he was growing up, and then Rosetta in soccer. And I always had people saying like you should come and coach at the high school level, and I never did it. And I was like, I don't have time.
Yeah.
But I regret it. I wish I would have did that at one point. As far as your coaching, were you ever involved with college programs or anything, coaching or no?
No, I was never college. Just that's a whole other aspect.
There's a whole other animal there.
Yeah.
That is like
And you're also
like
I know some people that have done that, and I mean you're coaching adults then.
Yeah.
Typically you don't have what's great about coaching high school is like there's kids that come in here that I've coached.
Yeah.
And, hey coach, how you doing? Like you get to see people in your community. And it's nice coaching in your community.
Yeah.
Then a lot of people they coach 3-4 towns over and they're not connected to that community. It's always nice.
I agree 100%. I think at the younger age you actually can instill some good qualities into, because let's just be honest, like I don't care what sport you're playing. All right, this may be offensive, but I'm going to say athletes are better human beings. Like if you grew up on a team, you know how to like be a team player or not. I guess you could be not a team player, but I think it makes a better, well-rounded individual, like even for employees. You know what I mean? If someone was on a sports team, they know how to work on a team. They know how to, you're not always going to get the ball. You're not always going to make the call, but you know how to work together. At least in all the years that I've been working with people. And I don't get me wrong, there's good people out there if you didn't play sports. But I think if you're involved with a team sport or even an individual, like wrestling is more individual, right? You're on a mat, it's all on your shoulders. It's still a team. But I think there's just so much to learn from being involved with athletics. And I think that's why it's fun to coach those younger kids, because you can kind of like mold them into, good people.
Yeah. I mean, coaching younger kids, like the 5th grade and below, can be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That 7th, 8th, 9th grade can be some challenging because those kids know everything.
Right. Right. Yeah, they do.
And then I'm getting back into high school again this year. But coaching high school, you could always see the difference between like that junior, senior, that things started clicking. They're a little bit, they're mature, they're becoming an adult. Some of them are adults versus those freshmen, sophomore. You're just like, they're so young. But yeah, so there's different ages of coaching, what you get out of the sport.
Right.
But one of the greatest things about sports is you learn to fail correctly. And like I failed. What do I have to do better to help my team? Maybe your team's winning, but like, hey, I didn't have a good game.
I could have done better.
Yeah.
So like that goes in even with like businesses. It's you don't lose, but you learn. You lose, but you learn something. So if you can kind of look at what's going on, no matter what you're doing, whether it's at work or whether it's even in the gym working out, or if it's on your team sport, like there's a lesson to be learned. So if you don't look at that as a way to learn something, then you're losing out, because that's what makes you better. If you just win at everything you do, there's really no lessons until someone beats you. They're like, oh shit, what did I do wrong?
So like I'm in sales for work, and you beat yourself up for a day, you lose a sale, and then you have to kind of get over it, and then be like, all right, I lost that. Why did I lose that? And then kind of figure out like, all right, win the next one, and kind of it's the whole season of the year, not necessarily that one sale, but just kind of forget about it. You lost.
Yeah, I mean a good way to look at it is like batting averages, right? Because look at people's batting averages that are good averages.
Yeah,
they're struck out like 7 times.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Out of 10,
3 out of 10,
and they're doing good,
really good. Yeah,
right. So it's again, it always goes back to like repetitions, no matter what you're doing. If it's how many sales calls you're making, or if it's how many sets you're doing in a gym. When you first walk into a gym and you work out, your muscles aren't used to it, so you're not going to get as many repetitions. You're not going to lift as heavy, but the more repetitions you put in, everything starts to get a little bit lighter, and the repetitions are a little bit easier. And then you change your program up. Same thing with sales. The more people that you interact with in your IT, right? IT sales.
Copiers, printers,
yeah. So the more people,
I've had 20 phone calls. I talk to 2 people. I can set 1 appointment.
There you go.
Like, if you know your numbers, you just got to continue to do that.
Yeah. So and I think that's no matter what you're selling, it's one, I learned a long time ago that, You know, when we talk about sales, a lot of people are like, ugh, sales. If you just look at sales as helping, right? It's so much easier to wrap your mind around. Like, you're actually helping this person. You need a printer, I need to sell you the printer. So you have a printer. If you need to get in better shape and you don't know what you're doing when you come to the gym, I need to get you to work with a personal trainer so you know what you're doing, so you can get the results you're looking for. Was that your first sales job, or what got you into sales?
What got me into sales is right out of college, I needed a job. I got a job at Hershey's Ice Cream. It's up in Middle, or based out of Harrisburg, but it's up in Middletown is where I started. And then I got into operations, and I've seen a few sales reps come through. And the manager at the time was like the exact same age as me, similar background and everything like that. And he was like, do you want to try sales? I think you'd be all right. I was like, I don't know, because I had the same mindset, the used car salesman and stuff like that. I was like, I'll try it. And then I got into the sales at Hershey's Ice Cream. Boss there was amazing. Did that for about 4 years, and then went on to other endeavors. But that was a fun job. That was a hard job.
The ice cream?
Yeah, well, those big tubs are 16 pounds.
Okay.
And then you have to go out in the summer, help the driver deliver, to get it all delivered. Sometimes you have to hop in the freezer, and that freezer's -40.
Right.
-40 is cold.
But you got free ice cream, right?
People would always ask for it, but like I always had to go to practice or something afterwards.
Oh, so
and the issue with ice cream is it melts.
Yeah, you can't keep it in your car.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, Hershey's, I mean, no matter where you, like, if I'm down in Florida and my wife's family, like, there's Hershey ice cream stores down there. So it's a huge,
I
don't know how many accounts they have, but.
So since I left, when I was there, they hit 100 million when I was there in revenue my last year there. And now I talked to my old manager. I think they're above 200 million in 10 years. They doubled.
Holy heck.
They skyrocketed, and they got the ball rolling there.
That's funny, because when we talk about ice cream, obviously we're sitting in a gym, and I tell, like, people are like, hey, how's business? I'm like, look, it's not an all-you-can-eat buffet or an ice cream shop, you know, so people aren't like knocking down the door, you know, but we're hanging in there. We're doing all right. Yeah, fitness is a totally different sale than ice cream.
Yeah.
This tastes really good. This doesn't taste too good. And you're going to hurt a little bit. But you need both. You need ice cream in your life, and you need to exercise. So what really other than being in sports, like, let's talk about, like, when did you start working out, like, at a fitness? Was this the first gym you joined, or at college?
So,
or, like, tell me a background of your
obviously
fitness.
I lifted all through college, and then when I was coaching high school for all those years, I would pretty much yo-yo. During the season, I didn't work out at all.
Okay.
And then in the off season, I got into running a lot. And I think that really actually hurt me because I wasn't lifting enough.
Okay.
And then 4 years ago, when I stopped coaching high school, I went to the doctor. I was turning 40 that year. I was like, I haven't been to the doctor in forever. Physical, I get there, and I weighed like 240. And I was like, dear Lord, what's wrong with me? And then I decided.
How tall are you?
6 foot.
Okay.
So then I was like, you know what? I got to do something. January 1st, I did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats for 100 days. And I pretty much did that. There was like 2 or 3 days I missed. And then my daughter was over at Paramount for gymnastics. And so I started lifting there.
Yeah.
And then I really got into dieting and started listening to a lot of podcasts and really narrowed it down or dialed in. And I then switched to here because the hours were a lot better. And it was like less expensive. I was like, this is a no-brainer. So then I came here, and then I've been here. This summer will be 3 years.
Okay. But
that diet, I went from just under 240 all the way down to my low was 192.
Okay.
And then I've been putting a good bit of muscle on, so I've been hanging around like 205-ish now.
Yeah, I watch you work out. You're doing really good. So it's funny. So like that.
So really only 3 years of
I felt like you're longer.
Consistent lifting in my life, because it was always like it'd be football season, you kind of dial back, and then winter, and then so this is my first time I've lifted like straight for 3 years. I've been pretty consistent, 4 or 5 days a week.
Dude, you're doing great. I see you at 5 a.m. and then I see you in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing 2 days. Some of the
like
time.
Right now, last winter I walked in the morning outside.
Yeah.
And then this year I was like, I'm not walking outside anymore.
And
this is a good year not to do it because it's been so cold and trying to walk and dodge traffic at 5:30 in the morning when there's snow piles there. So
and a lot of times
I just walk in the morning.
The snow in Pennsylvania, it doesn't last as long. Like this winter, I feel like the snow has been around forever. Like it's not finally now it's melting, but I was like, man, I feel like I live in Alaska. Like this snow's been here forever. Let's get it out of here. So yeah, it's nice to be on
So I'll be
able to
walking
come
out.
inside.
You won't see him in the mornings here soon. Once it gets above a certain temperature.
Well, we're in the 40s now.
Yeah,
so.
I like walking outside more. I walk faster inside, but I walk outside. You get the air.
Dude,
I drink my
just nice being
coffee,
outside.
like walking around. You get all the hills up where I live.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you normally walk the same way in the neighborhood, or do you change it up? You just
I walk the same way. Yeah.
So it's funny because even though you're an athlete pretty much your whole life growing up, there was a point in your life where you're like, what is going on? I'm 100 or I'm 240 pounds and I need to change something.
Yeah.
So that's funny because there's a lot of people out there that no one just wakes up one day and you're like, holy shit, I'm overweight. I got to join a gym.
You slowly get there.
You slowly get there and you know you're getting there. And you have this, like, you know, the two little voices on your shoulder saying, you're okay. You can don't worry about going to the gym. And then the other one's like, you got to get your butt to the gym. And then finally, just one day, you're like, a lot of times January 1st, it's like, okay, enough's enough. I got to take action.
Yeah.
And that is honestly, so many people that come in and join, we'll sit down and you know, do an assessment with them and talk to them about like what their goals are and everything. And it's, you know, how long have you been thinking about, you know, joining a gym? And they'll be like, for a long time. And then we will say, like, we want to know, like, what's that number? Like, how long is like a month? And they're like, oh no, dude, like 5 years I've been driving past this place, and I think one of these days I'm going to come in. I was like, for 5 years you've been driving past, and finally you made it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a big accomplishment for someone that has thinking about like, I need to join a gym, and then finally they walk through that door.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, it still gives me goosebumps because I'm like, finally, people are taking action. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, enough's enough. And it's just a matter of what's enough for you. You know what I mean? Yours was 240 pounds and you said, this is it. I'm done. I'm going to start exercising. But so let's talk about your workouts. I know you like to do cardio outside, but you'll come in the morning, you'll do cardio in the morning. And then
so right now, the past year, I don't really jog anymore. I walk. And then,
why?
I think the big reason is I think I've heard it on a podcast somewhere else that like when you run, you end up being tired the rest of the day and you end up moving less naturally. Like, so by walking, you're not killing your legs,
right? And
then you can still get up and move around and stuff like that. And that's why, but I still go they redid the track at the school. I do like to do some sprints, now and then. So I'll get that hopefully that opens up soon. Because you can't really sprint on the roads with the stones and
the track's synthetic, so it's a little bit more. It's not like a treadmill where you have shock absorber, but
I also don't like running on treadmills. Like, it's just brutal. Like, I'm a bigger guy too. It's like this machine's gonna break.
See, I was always a sprinter when I ran track, so I love doing sprints. But as I age, my knees do not like doing sprints.
Yeah.
So the reason that I don't really do running anymore, unless something's chasing me, probably, is because my knees just. I can do it, and then like. A couple days later, I just pay for it. Like, my knees are in pain. Like, okay, this ain't worth it. But you're hitting cardio first thing in the morning, so your metabolism is higher. So you're going to get more benefit just from hitting cardio earlier. And then you'll come back and hit weights
in
later?
The evenings. Yeah, come back and I'll lift in the evenings. And I just recently switched to like sets of 15.
Okay.
And I haven't done that in a while, and that is a killer. That is a killer. But normally, like, I try to switch things up every 4 months, 3-4 months. I switch kind of up my routine. During the fall this year, it was a little bit busier with football's a little bit more, youth football's a little bit more intensive than some of the other sports.
Okay.
And I switched to, I think I told you, I went to like a full body workout 3 to 4 days a week. And I actually really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the key with workouts. And I don't think enough people know that you got to change it up. Like, you can't, like, you're changing it up because, again, like we talked about when we started this today, is balance, right?
Yeah.
So there might be some times where you're coaching more and you got to come in and hit a full body, and it's forcing you to do things different. But in the long run, it's the best thing for you because muscles have memory. So once you hit that memory, your workouts become easier, and they're not doing as much for you anymore.
Yeah.
So by changing up like your repetitions, changing up your splits, whether you're doing full body or upper body, lower body, it actually is beneficial to your fitness levels because you keep shocking the body.
Yeah.
So it's good. And a lot of times life forces you to do stuff like that. And that's like, there's no balance, right? Because sometimes you got to do more coaching and sometimes you can hit more days in the gym.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's
life just changes a lot.
Yeah.
My lifts, I try to keep under 35 minutes. Like, my lifts are in and out. I come in, I do my 4 or 5 exercises, and then I'm out of here.
So that's the other thing that we could talk about, because people think they need to be here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You don't need to be here for 2 hours. right? You can get.
I mean, if I was in here for 2 hours just lifting, I mean, either you're not lifting enough weight or you're talking too much.
Right. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like the gym is a great social atmosphere. It's a great place to meet people that are thinking the same way as you, is like trying to be healthier, having tried more energy, living longer for your kids to be around. So it's a great place to have that social aspect. But you don't want to start your workout and then go take 15 minutes, talk to somebody, and then get back at your workout. You want to get it done and keep focused on that workout. But it's definitely a good place to socialize too. But I do see a lot of...
My socializing to be Saturdays and Sundays. I socialize more though.
When you're in here?
Yeah.
Because
you typically don't have as much going on.
You got everything checked. Yeah, you're not working that day, and you've gotten all your lifts in, and now you can kind of... I like that. Yeah, I never had anybody tell me that. But then there's a reason why I have the juice bar. You know what I mean? When you're done with your workout, go up there and sit down, get a shake. If you don't got to get home to the kids and homework and sports and the wife and dinner and all the stuff, there is a social area of the club that you can sit down and talk and talk about your workouts and nutrition and stuff like that. So how do you, what's your your kids, what age?
He'll be 13 here soon.
Holy crap.
7th grade. He actually is lifting again. He lifted last summer with the high school team.
Okay.
And so he's lifting with the high school team again this year. Yeah. He's really into it. Like they tested the other day to kind of start the spring lift. And then I had him in here and I gave him the ab roller for the first time. And he's like, the next day, he's like, what's going on?
I love it. So 13 is a great age. And I'm sure that, we've talked about this before on the podcast, that showing, how you handle life as a parent, you can either help your kids or hurt your kids, right? So they know that dad goes to the gym. It's going to be a part of him as he grows. He knows, okay, this is what we do. We go to the gym and we work out, or we play sports, or we do that. So is he kind of itching to get in, like to work out in the gyms?
So he's all excited to go to the high school and lift.
Yeah.
He was really into, he had basketball season. He made the team this year, the 7th grade team. And then he knew like spring and summer was going to be lifting. And he got into it last year. He had some friends that lifts, and he really got into it.
Dude, that's awesome when you have that group of friends that are into it too. And not that sports weren't competitive back in my time or your time, but I think that they're a little bit more competitive nowadays. I don't know if it's because of the internet and people get to see these kids that are just amazing, and they could be, on the other side of the country, and you see their videos and you're just like, whoa. Because my grandson started wrestling, so now like my whole social media feed is like just wrestling, and there's this.
You watch one wrestling video, and all of a sudden you're watching hundreds of
feeding me wrestling videos, and some of these kids are freaking good. I'm like, oh my gosh, man, that kid's like good. So I think that athletes nowadays, the kid athlete, they go on there and they see like someone maybe that they can relate to, whether the same age or same sport, and they can see like the level of athlete they are, and I think it pushes kids to work harder. Like, man, I need to do better. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, you can see, like back in my time, it was like you just assumed that you were good, but you never really seen anybody.
You're the best one in your neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you were the fastest kid in the class, so you didn't know there was probably 100 other kids in the world that were smoke you. You know what I mean? So now it's a bigger platform where you can look at other kids and be like, man, I need to work harder. So I think it's actually really good for kids to have that competitive edge that they need to look at and say, okay, I got to hit the gym. I got to work harder. We had kids this morning, two girls, and I want to have them on the show one of these times. They wrestle for Northern Lebanon.
Okay.
They were here at 5 a.m. this morning.
When I was walking, I saw them. Bill. Yeah.
They're 12 years old.
Okay.
They're here at 5 a.m. I'm like, there's no way. When I was 12 years old, you were getting me out of bed to go to a gym. Yeah. I give those girls credit, man. They were putting it in too, because I'll train them sometimes in the evenings. And I was like, oh, can't wait to see what they're going to be like at 5 a.m. And they were putting in the work. I was proud. I was like, man, they're doing good.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's a different level of competitiveness now, because there's just a bigger window of opportunity to see what's out there. So you have 2 kids?
Yes.
So the oldest is 13.
Yep. We'll be 13 soon. And then my daughter's 10.
Okay. Yeah. And she's playing sports?
My wife listens to this. I have to say yes. She's a cheerleader.
Oh, that's a sport. That's a sport. I'm with your wife. It's a sport. And I'm sure it gets more extreme as they get older. Like
they practice hard. They work hard. She can do things that I can't do.
Yeah.
You're not seeing me do back handsprings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so they do some hard stuff.
So does she cheer for the school?
It's through Palmyra.
Yeah.
Palmyra Rec. It's not Palmyra Rec, but it's through Palmyra. It's a Palmyra team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because my youngest brother Ryan, his daughter Bella, she cheers, but she's on some dance thing too.
Okay.
And she's like the flyer chick, like she's the lightest one. So like my sister-in-law will be posting videos, and Bella's like got her, like she's getting thrown all over the place, legs like flying everywhere, and like pulling all these. I guess they're called stunts. I don't know. I think is what the word is.
I don't know all the words,
but it's pretty impressive. So I consider cheerleaders being athletes.
What they do is hard and athletes.
Is that her thing? Is she just cheerleading?
Yeah, that's what she really likes to do. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, that's good. As long as as long as you're getting off the couch and you're moving, you know what I mean? So whatever, if that's what makes her happy, man, that's great. At least she's just not sitting around.
Yeah.
And not being active.
Yeah,
so
that's the rule. You have to be doing something in their house. Like,
I love it.
There's no off season.
Yeah. So do they do anything else other than sports?
Like
an instrument. I never played an instrument, but I know like some of my buddies that I played sports with would do instruments too.
Yeah, none of our kids do instruments or I tried to do that. That's not really a Bleiler trait. So
it's not in my family either. Yeah. Yeah. My sister had a piano and it's still sitting in my mom's garage. She's trying to get it out of the house. I'm like, yeah, she didn't play that thing anyways. So let's talk a little bit more about like balance with the kids. So you're doing you come in before work, then you're coming in at after work to work out. Like how do you make that work with having a family?
Yeah, so it's before work's kind of easy. So I'm here so early. And then I head right to the office on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Okay. And then Wednesdays, I don't have to go into the office, so I can get my daughter on the bus. My son just needs to wake up, and then he's for the most part fine. Yeah. I mean, he's in middle school. But yeah, so it's just kind of they're in sports. This year was a little bit easier because I wasn't coaching middle school basketball, so like I didn't have to be at his practices. I was only there for the games, and the cheerleading. My wife helps coach.
Okay.
So,
you guys
I don't have to be there for practice.
Yeah,
and her stuff is only on Saturdays or Sundays, and normally it's traveling all around. Like she was down in almost DC this past weekend and stuff like that. Sometimes it's tough for me to even make that type of those trips. But yeah.
Wow. So so your wife is involved with coaching too. So it's just the thing that you guys do is help.
The house is kind of like empty. So
we don't need a house. We're never here.
And plus my lift, like I said, is only 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, you're in and out.
Yeah,
getting it done.
And out.
So that's what people need to realize. Like you can again, there's 101 excuses, right? And by the time you're done making all your excuses, you could have been done with your first workout is an old saying. One, we take the one excuse off the table, meaning that we're a 24-hour operation. So if you really want to get it done, you can wait until the kids go to bed, and then you can come to the gym and work out. You know what I mean? If that's your schedule that you have to be under. But, finding the time is, I think, most people's number one struggle is, you got to work, then you got to come home, take care of the kids' homework, cook dinner, clean up after dinner, by then get the kids for bed, and then it's go to bed and do it all again. So trying to make it important enough that you find time in your schedule. And it's, again, we go back to the balance thing. But if your health is at risk right now, or like you said, you're like, I was 240 pounds, man, I had to make time for this. People need to figure out what's most important to focus on right now. And if it's your health, if you're overweight, you're out of shape, you don't have any energy, you're depressed, you're stressed out, probably should start a fitness routine. And even if it's like you did, start at home just doing push-ups, for 100 days, just take action. And that's the biggest thing I've seen in the industry is that just not enough people, they want to do it, but they just, for some reason, they don't start.
Yeah, they'll start, like you said, possibly afraid to come in, never done it before.
Right.
There's so much good information. There's so much bad information, but so much good information online as well. But you come in, talk to some people, and
get a partner, get a lifting partner. You know what I mean? Like you said, your son, he loves going into work out with the other kids from the team.
Yeah,
that makes it a little bit easier because one, you hold each other accountable.
Yeah,
especially as adults, like anything can come up. It could have snowed. It could have been, just a bad Monday, and you're like, screw the gym. But if you have to meet your lifting partner there or your workout partner, you're going to hesitate on cancel because you don't want to let them down. So just finding a partner to work out with can help you hold yourself accountable because you don't want to let them down. So like, what would be your number one goal now? So I know like you started because you were 240 pounds. What's your purpose now? Like, what's your reason to keep at this?
I think I'm just addicted.
Yeah.
It might be that. Yeah, I mean, I go through those like I was bulking for a little bit, and then summer's coming up. I'll probably try to cut 5 pounds or something like that, like everyone else does. But yeah, there's no. It's just, this is what I do now.
It's like brushing your teeth and taking a shower.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
And that's what people don't understand either, is because once you do something long enough, it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
And even when you don't want to go, you go because it's, like you said, it's basically part of my lifestyle. I brush my teeth. I go to the gym.
It's almost like I get grouchy if I don't.
Oh, I do. Yeah. My wife, like, I came home one time and my wife and daughter were like, "What is wrong with you?" And then something happened that my day just went to shit, and I didn't work out. And they both looked at me like, don't ever come home again without working out. You were a total jerk. I'm like, I know. So I have not done that. But yeah, it just, I don't know how to explain it, because if someone out there hasn't done it yet, you don't know what you're missing out on.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely a different quality of life. It just helps in every area. As much as it may be uncomfortable while you're exercising, or you might be sore afterwards, if you do it long enough, it just makes you a better person, and you're going to be a better parent. You're going to be a better friend. You're going to be a better employee. It just makes life better.
Yeah, and you just feel better.
Yeah. So do you work with any coworkers that don't work out, or like, isn't it a big difference that you're like, you can make more calls, and even though it's dial on a phone, you just have more drive? Because it makes you more competitive.
My team is pretty small. There's only 3 of us, and then our manager. We're probably pretty competitive.
Does everybody work out?
One guy.
I'm putting you on the spot now too, because of the incident. Don't talk too much smack.
My boss works out.
Yeah.
He lifts. He's a firefighter too.
Okay.
So he works out pretty good. I tell him kind of my list and stuff, and he's not up quite up to par with me, but he's a little bit older than I am. The other guy's like 55. He used to coach basketball. Used to be a teacher. Kind of got into sales. And then the other guy, he doesn't have time.
Yeah.
He's adopted 2 kids. Like he's there's 4 kids.
Well, and that's balance. Right now he's got a lot on his plate, so that's where his focus is at right now.
Yeah. We give him a hard time.
Yeah, so that's all you can do. He takes
it pretty well.
Yeah, so. That's all you can do is say, hey, maybe one day, right now the kids, I understand you got to focus on them, but and it's not. I have guys in here. Well, Gino in the morning, he's going to turn 80 next month, and he always says to me, I wish I would have started earlier. But if you look at it, like, now he's retired, and that's what he does every day. He comes here. So his balance, he may have not worked out when he was younger, but now he's focused on exercising, working out, living a better, healthy lifestyle. So your balance can be off from day to day, or it could be off from year to year, or even decade to decade, where, now he's putting in all the work that he didn't put in when he was
There's different phases of life.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, you got to just roll with it. So whatever you have going on now, just know that you will be able to refocus your time, especially as the kids grow up, they graduate, they go on to start their family. The next you know, you're like, hey, do you remember me? Like, I know you got your own thing going on over there, but hey, don't forget about your old dad over here. So no, life is interesting in that way, that there is no true, you can't just balance everything. Does your wife work out?
She works out at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the kids see it. They're like, hey, exercise is important.
Yeah.
I love it. Anything you would like to add for somebody that's maybe out there that's like, I'm so scared to walk in a gym?
Just give it a try. Like I said, my first time coming to a gym like this was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And luckily I've always was working out and stuff like that. I kind of knew what I was doing.
Right.
But just come in, talk to people, and start doing some stuff, and watch other people. Most people are doing things correctly.
Yeah.
And kind of just get after it, and then do what you like, and then look up some YouTube videos, and
there you go.
And go from there.
That's the thing right now. With all that at your fingertips, you can find. I have videos out there of the gym, so you can see like what you're going to walk into. But yeah, it's anything we do that's new. I don't care who you are. You can be the most confident person in the world. If it's your first time doing something, whether it's getting on stage and talking, or holding a meeting at work, or walking into a restaurant that you're meeting people you've never been in, you're a little bit uncomfortable. It's the same thing in the gym. You're just going to walk through and you're like, man, why did I wait so long?
Yeah.
Like, this is nothing. I belong. I can see guys and girls in here that are the same age as me, that are in the same shape as me. So it's just take action and just do it. Before we wrap up, there's one thing I like to talk about is we have a couple core values, and one of them is QTE. So it's quality through excellence. How would you sum that up? Like, what does that mean to Matt?
Quality through excellence. Probably just the quality of your day-to-day life. Obviously, it's going to go ups and downs, but just trying to be excellent in everything you do, and then that's going to improve. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but continually doing the right things.
Yep,
will get you there.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I couldn't say it any better. That is exactly right, and I think that's what the world would be a better place if everybody just did their best every day and try. And it could be different each day, but dude, that was well said. I'm going to end it on that one because that was great. So, again, Matt Bleiler, he's working out at the Palmyra location, and hopefully we inspired you guys if you're thinking about starting a fitness journey. And that's our time squared. See ya.